Hi, my name is Ben, and today we're going to look at 7 crucial questions to ask Freedom Debt Relief before signing the dotted lines. As a previous CEO of a debt settlement company, I have some inside information about sort of questions that you can ask and other things that could be helpful just in terms of dealing with what debt relief firm you decide to go with. So let's get started. Welcome to Ascend Finance's YouTube page, where we take different options such as debt settlement and debt management, and we break them down into easily understandable human language. Today, we're going to discuss Freedom Debt Relief and 7 different questions that you can ask them to kind of understand whether their debt option is the best for you. We also built a debt settlement calculator that you can take in the description below. It's a free resource that you can use to compare costs about different debt settlement companies. You can compare options like to Chapter 7 bankruptcy, Chapter 13 bankruptcy, and then you can also look at pros and cons of each of the debt relief options. First question that you can ask Freedom Debt Relief is, how much in fees am I going to be paying Freedom Debt Relief after my first settlement? Now, it's common across the debt settlement industry that you don't pay fees to the debt settlement company until after the first account is settled. And this is a super important question to ask because the fees can range with many debt settlement companies between 15 and 25%. And we see that Freedom Debt Relief often charges between 20 and 25%. So knowing the amount of fees that you're going to be paying after that first settlement is super important and very relevant for your information. Second, what are my other options? Oftentimes debt settlement companies will potentially not tell you all the different options that are available. Not necessarily debt relief, but it is important to understand the difference between Chapter 7 bankruptcy and the cost of that option and Chapter 13 bankruptcy and that option. Again, our debt settlement calculator in the description below can help you compare all those options, but it can be a good question to ask Freedom Debt Relief. Next, one of the good questions you can ask is, what is Freedom Debt Relief reviews on such sources as Google and Yelp? These 2 sources, I believe, are less biased compared to some other review sites, so it could be good just to get their perspective of what is perceived of them online. Next, one question you can ask is, are you going to pitch me a high interest debt consolidation loan once I make a certain number of payments while I'm in my program? And does that loan have an origination fee? One of the things that Freedom Debt Relief seems to sometimes offer is this debt consolidation loan to help speed up your debt settlements while you're in the program. And one of the things to consider when you're potentially going to do one of those consolidation loans is, are you going to have to pay all of the debt settlement fees? 2, are you going to have to pay the interest rate on the new consolidation loan? And 3, are you going to have to be paying an origination fee on that debt consolidation loan for the debt settlement company? Next, what are negative outcomes that can happen if I join Freedom Debt Relief's program? There's a lot of different pros and cons to debt settlement, and we cover that in another video, and I'm going to put a link on this video, but that's an important question to ask. Not all are positive outcomes. So what are the negative outcomes? What could happen if something goes wrong? That's an important question to ask Freedom Debt Relief. Next, what will be my tax consequences estimate be if I'm deemed tax solvent? Now, tax solvency is dependent upon the IRS, and there's some different forms that you would take to determine or estimate whether you're tax solvent. And I'll include a link in the description below. But the important thing to understand is whether Freedom Debt Relief estimates, whether you're tax solvent before or after joining the program, and to kind of get an estimate. They can't give you the full details because they aren't CPAs, but it's a good question to ask. Finally, one of the most important questions is, what are the chances of a lawsuit being filed with my creditor mix? Now, some creditors file lawsuits, others don't. And most debt settlement companies might already know who's at risk and who's not at risk right before you sign up for the debt settlement company. Asking this question can be super important to help you understand if you have a chance of being sued, and it will help them provide that information up front. The last thing you want is to get an unpleasant knock on your door and be served paper for a debt collection lawsuit. That's not fun. And to be prepared in between would be beneficial to you. Thanks for watching this video where we cover 7 different crucial questions that you can ask Freedom Debt Relief today. If you like this video, I'd definitely appreciate a like. And if you want other information about debt settlement, bankruptcy, other options to get you out of debt cheaper, easier, and faster, please subscribe, as we definitely appreciate it. Also, I try to answer as many questions as I can about Freedom Debt Relief in this video, but let me answer any questions that you have. Please feel free to leave a comment below, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And finally, if you're kind of deciding between debt settlement and other options, please take our free debt settlement calculator in the description below to help you compare your different options, the costs, the pros and cons, and the alternatives to help you make the most informed decision. Thanks so much.